Hey everyone, it's Fallen again, here with part 5 of the Fire Emblem 7 playthrough. So, last time we met up with Florina, and we got ourselves a flyer, and we are now making our way... Oh god, it's been a while since I recorded, it's been a few days. But I'm trying to remember where exactly we're... I know obviously we're heading westward, but... Forget, I want to say... I can't remember where exactly we're heading right now, but it shows you how long it's been since I recorded. But anyway, so we're on our way west, and one thing I just want to make sure I brought up is I've been, reading the bit of feedback that I've been getting in the last couple of videos, and hopefully my mic is sounding better and higher in volume than the first few episodes that I recorded a while back. I had to wait a while because I had to wait for Hikari to have the time to give me, what I needed to be able to upload the videos right. So now that the videos have finally come out and I've gotten a little bit of feedback, I'm starting this recording session up, and hopefully this video should be up the next day or so, as long as everything goes pretty much according to plan. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue our adventure.
After defeating the bandits, Lynn continues westward. She and her colleagues stop for the night at a ruined fortress. The Ganalan bandits are in a rage after their brethren fell Lynn's swords. They race in pursuit of the companions. Their angry footsteps sound closer and closer. Chapter 4. In Occupation's Shadow.
Ah, this should suffice. Tonight's bed.
This mildew old fortress?
Is this the best we can do?
Come, Will, surely you jest.
The bandits keep everything in turmoil around here. No one has time to worry about travelers. And there are rather a lot of us. This will be fine. Who wants to be stuck inside anyway? I prefer a place where I can feel the wind blow. As long as I'm at Lynn's side, I'll be fine.
And for your protection, your man-at-arms Sane will be right here by your side, ladies.
Sane, both you and I are to remain awake. We will alternate the watch.
Ah, alas.
Your pardon, milady.
Who's there?
Forgive my intrusion. My name's Natalie. I'm from a village not far from here. Ow.
Are you alright?
Your leg. It's fine, don't worry. It's from a childhood sickness. I can't travel far on it, but it doesn't trouble me too much. What are you doing here all by yourself? I'm looking for my husband. I heard he was in the area. He said he was going to raise money to have my leg mended. He left the village and hasn't returned. He's a kind-hearted man, but I think he might be involved in something dangerous. I got so worried. Here's a sketch of him. It's a poor likeness at best, but his name is Dorcas. Do you know of him? I'm sorry, I don't believe I've seen or heard of him. I see. If you do meet him, please give him a message. Tell him that Natalie's looking for him. I will tell him, I promise.
Ah boy, here we go.
Here they are. We finally tracked the band that defeated Miguel.
So this decide to hole up in this ruined fortress? Perfect. We'll wait till it gets dark and then...
You're an idiot. There were only a few of them, and some were women. If we attacked them at night, it'd be a laughingstock. Besides, we might hurt the women by mistake. I will not be so wasteful.
You're right, Conjugar. You're so smart.
We'll avenge Miguel and get some pretty souvenirs to boot. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a leader after all. Let's go. Spread out and circle the place, you rogues. Let's finish this before it gets too dark to see. Hey, you! Your name's Dorcas, right? You haven't done much since you joined us. Those weapons of yours aren't just for show. Today's the day to let us see what you can do. I want you to attack from the back entrance to the east. There's supposed to be a woman inside. I want you to capture her. And do that, I'll increase our share for the take. You want gold? Then get the job done. A bunch of women, huh? It would break Natalie's sweet heart to see me sink so low.
Lady Lindis! Outside the fortress, bandits!
What did you say?
Persistent bunch, aren't they? What do you think? Shall we go out and face them?
No, Natalie cannot move. She cannot move well, and that would put her in danger. Let them come to us. We'll fight here within these walls. Fallen, take over. The command is yours. All we have to do is hold out until they tire and leave. Oh. Rest easy, Natalie. No one will harm you. Listen, everyone. Fight with caution. Fallen, the fortress has 2 entrances. That's where we must meet the enemy. I'll take the eastern door. Fallen, you and the others guard the main entrance.
Okay. So, another tricky-ish kind of thing about this chapter is there is this wall here that they can break and come into, but it's really not all that much of a problem. You just gotta make sure that you cover up this entrance, because that's where the brunt of all the enemies is. So. And then here, you don't have to worry so much, because this is actually Dorcas. And pretty much you'll learn that just about anybody with a special portrait like this, and an overworld sprite like this, the majority of them will basically join your team, and they're recruitable in some way. It just kind of depends. Like, obviously, bosses have their own portraits and stuff like that. But, I don't think any bosses can be recruited. I don't think so. But normally any regular enemy that has a portrait like this is special in some regard, and you can talk to them and normally put them over to your side. So, I think the best option would be to put R2... Why would you put Lynn here? That's such a bad, like... well, whatever. Anyway. To me, that's really not smart in any capacity, because you could just wait for Dorcas to come inside. Unless he's set not to move, then I guess I could understand it a little bit more. Something like this. That way Will can get that archer to attack him. Walk up here. Okay, he's got a hand axe. Okay, that makes more sense then. Okay. Man, 39% chance to hit, even lower with true hit on, and he still hit that. Whatever. Thankfully, that's the good thing about choke points in this game, is the fact that you can just do stuff like this, where only one at a time can actually come through. It's not too bad. Okay. I'm glad they attacked Will instead of like trying to go for the calves and stuff.
Fallen, the fighter who just attacked me. Doesn't he look somewhat like that picture of Natalie's husband?
I mean, we never seen it, so I don't know. Okay.
You, tell me, are you Dorcas?
How do you know my name?
Natalie told me. What are you doing with these rogues?
I need money.
That may be, but joining up with the mercenaries?
It's the only way to earn gold in these parts. I'll do anything, even this.
For gold? Anything? Would you hurt your wife? Natalie's here, and we're protecting this fortress with her inside of it.
What? She's here?
She was so worried that she came looking for you. Think, Dorcas. Would your actions please your wife?
You're right.
Well?
I understand. I can't do this. I'm done with these bandits, here and now.
Really?
Yes. And I would repay you for your kindness toward Natalie. Allow me to fight for you.
Okay. And then probably best if I do it like this, because I kind of want Lynn to get at least a little experience in this hand axe. Alright, Dorcas, 3% crit. Fine. So much for Lynn getting experience in that. Oh well, that works. Alright, let's just go ahead and have everybody go at and take their shots now. Yeah, most of these chapters are pretty darn straightforward. Like, there's really not a whole lot going on in them. These guys won't even break this wall for a long time, so honestly, everybody here is fairly safe. The only thing I would say is I would like to get Florina some experience, but the last thing I need is for this bandit to come in and actually, like, get the better of her. So, just kind of depends, I guess. If I remember right, I want to say reinforcements will come up from here as well. Not very many, but a couple. So, just got to be careful, I guess. Actually, before I do that, let me check. Okay, he just got or an iron axe. Just in case. Man. I mean, at least he doubles and can get them down to low HP, so he doesn't have to take a retaliatory kind of attack to him when he attacks somebody. Man. Okay. Nope.
What are you waiting for? She's just a child. A girl. Get more men up here now.
Really, nothing all that special. But this is where I would say, once you get through this, the maps become a little bit better in the fact that, like, they're not so mindless, I guess. You have to pay attention a little bit more. Not a whole lot, but a tiny bit more than you were earlier. Okay, yeah. You know what? I think I might have Florina go over there. And then switch off with Lynn. And then keep Dorcas over here just to protect her in case something goes wrong. Then I'll just have Sane waited out there. Yeah, that was probably a good call. Alright, so he can take 2 more hits. At this rate, anyway. So they'll attack Sane. So, I'll probably have to have Kent heal himself, just because I don't want to risk his health going any lower than that. Yeah, this'll work. She even has crit chance too, which is really good, because taking care of these mercenaries is, like, probably gonna be... Yeah, it'd be hard for Dorcas. I'm not really gonna have him attack. I'll try and take this guy out with Will. There we go. See, the problem with archers in this game is they just wind up really not being all that great. Like, if you really take the time and train them, they can be alright towards endgame, but most of the time they're really just used for mostly chip damage. And it's kind of sad that it's that way, but I mean, what can you do? Obviously, archers get ridiculous in pretty much any game, like Awakening. Well, really, every character can become broken in Awakening and Fates. But in any sense, though, like, for the most part, it's really not all that... It's really not all that bad in this game. Like, at least they're still usable in some chapters, but otherwise it becomes a little bit more difficult to be able to use them if you're not playing well anyway. The one thing though about archers in Awakening and Fates is just they have so many skills that really can just they can really break the game in a sense. Like, I remember when I first played Fates, and I played Birthright first because, you know, obviously the easier one. I didn't want to have to, like, you know, play something like Conquest and then go to Birthright and find it boring or anything. So I played Birthright first, and I started using Takumi. And at first I wasn't really liking him. He wasn't getting good level ups and everything. But then I started building him, and my goodness, he absolutely took off in terms of, like, actually being useful. He, like, was off the charts good. Like, I got him to a point where he had, like, almost a 90% chance to actually crit, which was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that you could get your crit chance that high. And I mean, you can, if you build other classes that way, you can also do the same thing. Because, like, if you have, like, if you use, like, a great club in for, like, any sort of, like, axe wielding class, you can do pretty much the same thing, at least for the most part. Really quick, they can't go. But that's the problem with, I would say, with most of the newer games, is like, you can make such broken units, it's not even funny. Like, it can be really, really, like, disheartening in a way. Like, because it just makes the game way, 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 way too easy. Like, once you get to a point where your units are just, like, going left and right and really doing what they need to do, you wind up having no problems whatsoever with the entirety of the game. Even endgame becomes pretty nonchalant and like a breeze and like mindless if you've taken the time to really, really develop and train your units. Alright, what kind of level up are you gonna get, Sane? Ooh, okay, he leveled speed, nice. Hopefully pretty soon he will, he'll be able to double these bandits, because that's when he's really going to start becoming super useful. Okay, so another one did come down. I might see, excuse me. Sorry, my throat needed to clear it up there. I might see, oh, okay, sweet. What I'll do is I think I'll place him here, and oh, he doesn't have a, how do you not have a, oh, no, you do have a, right, okay. I'm gonna go ahead, heal him up, and I'm just gonna have the boss attack him. That way everyone's getting the experience that they need. Cool. So how are you against this guy? We don't want you to get hit, so I'm gonna have her wait right there for now. Now, the one thing I will say is the reason I'm not using Dorcas at the moment is even, like, when you play with him later, like, he's not the greatest unit. Like, his bases for, you know, beginning, for, like, the beginning of the game is not bad, but he just winds up not being super great, even endgame. Like, you get better axe wielders later on, like, Hector's one. Hector is, you know, one of the lords of the game, and he's an axe wielder, so he kind of, you know, defeats the point of actually having somebody like Dorcas. That's my only, like, real qualm, is, like, you wind up not using a lot of units in this game, but that's also true for Awakening and Fates as well. Like, you really don't use a lot of your units in that game. The majority of them you won't wind up using. Especially if you play
How? Why are they so tough? You, bring me more men here, right away.
But... God, what was I even saying? Oh, like if you play Revelations, in Fates, you legitimately do not use the majority, the vast majority of your characters. Like, you get to use maybe 20 a map. You wind up having like 80 characters altogether. So it's like, oh my god, like what? Why? Like, why would you even bother? But this game, it still has the same problem, because you can only, I think the most you can ever really deploy in the game at a time is, God, I want to say it's about 10 to 12, and you end up having a roster of about 30 people by the end of the game. So a lot of people just don't get used, and a lot of people get they get outshined by some of the later units just by how good they are. Alright. That's fine. So... yeah, last turn. Okay. So... as long as I kill this guy, Ken will be fine on health. I really wish he would have leveled up. Maybe... well, if I leave him here, he might get just barely enough. Oop. Oh well. The good thing is I'm at least leveling up Florina. She was able to get a lot of experience, so I'm happy about that. Because she can become actually fairly viable late game if you give her enough experience in the beginning. Okay, good. Alright. So, I would use Dorcas and use like the hand axe here, but this guy will definitely go after Dorcas if I try this. Yeah, it's not worth it. We'll leave him where he is, because it'll draw the archer in, but it's not going to do anything, because they're not going to go after Natalie.
This isn't... not me.
Okay. That was good. So what level up are you going to get now? Shoot. I was hoping for more speed, but that's okay. At least he was able to double the boss. Alright, everybody else is pretty much done here. So, I think we can just end the turn. See, the really good thing about having Florina over there is they don't crit her. If they would have crit her, then I probably would never have sent her there on her own, because she probably would have died by now. I really wish Kent would get a crit so he could get a level up. No. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Actually, wait. If the archer attacks him, maybe he'll get two experience from that. What a tease. Ah, well.
Curses! An all human! Listen up, rogues! Retreat! Pull back!
The enemy's fled. Fallen, we've won! Dorcas!
I'm so sorry, Natalie.
All's well that ends well, right, Natalie?
Our village is close. I'll take Natalie home and return tomorrow.
Why can't we just say our farewells today?
Well, I spoke with Fallen. I've been invited to join your group.
But we're going to Lycia.
I have to go somewhere to earn money. If you think I'll be of use, I'd like to fight for you. You hope my wife and I owe you.
Dorcas. Please, Lynn, we're both in agreement on this. Watch over my husband. Things have finally calmed down.
We'll continue taking turns, keeping watch. Please rest easily. Is that all right? Are you sure? Zane?
Oh, yes, of course.
Let me warn you. If bandits sneak up on you, they'll cut you down without mercy. Do you understand that?
What? Do you doubt my bravery? Am I not a knight? There's no need to worry. Right, Ken?
If there's anything suspicious, we'll take care of it. Rest assured.
Really? Well, good night then. See you tomorrow, Fallen.
Let's go. Ha! No one ever trusts me. It's so funny because they say that, but out of all the units right now, he's probably the most capable one that I've got. Alright, so with that, we're going to go ahead and cut the video there. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let's go ahead and hop over to question of the video. So, out of all the countries that the Fire Emblem games take place in, which country do you find the most interesting? And I just realized that I misspelled interesting. Don't mind me. Professional YouTuber right here. Anyway. But, so, right now, I cannot remember for the life of me what this continent, this whole big world that is taking place right now. I can't remember for the life of me what, like, main continent this is. I know a lot of the different smaller, like, countries are called, but the continent itself in the world, I can't remember for the life of me what the whole thing is called. But like with Marth, like his like the place that the game takes place in is Arcania, and in Echoes and Gaiden, if you played the older games, we're talking about Valencia, then becoming Valm later on. I have to say, one of the most interesting bits of lore, or one of the places with the most interesting bits of lore, rather, I have to say, at least out of the games I've played, was Echoes, because it gave a lot of, like... now, as far as I know, I don't know how canon this is, because it's a remake of the older games, so I can't really say if it's all completely canon or not. I'm not 100% sure. But a lot of the lore that is present in Echoes is super, super, super interesting to me. The fact that Zeke is actually Camus from Arcania, which is, Marth's games. How all of that ties back to Arcania, and then Valencia then becoming Valm. And if you've played Awakening, again, not sure how canon this is, the continent that Walhart is on, where you go eventually in the later part of Awakening, I'm pretty sure they're Valm. I'm pretty sure that country is Valm. So to me, it's just super interesting to see how all the countries come and tie together. But I feel like Valm/Valencia is just chock full of a lot of different, really, really interesting lore. But yeah, so just let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite country or land that the Fire Emblem games take place in so far, out of any game that you've played, whether it's the old NES versions of the games, up to the newest one being Fates. Just let me know. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!